this video, we're gonna need to use a compass. This is a compass. I know you might not, probably don't have one at your disposal at the time of watching this video, but I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of go through this warm-up with you, and at the same time I'm gonna kind of explain how to use one of these compasses the right way so that you can get the best results from it. So hopefully this is still worthwhile to you, even though you might not have one with you. So first let's look at what this question says. So it says, for each quadrilateral, use a compass to see if you can draw a circle that passes through all 4 of the quadrilateral's vertices. Okay, so we want to draw a circle that's going to go through all 4 corners of this square to start with. So first of all, we're going to have to decide where we want the center of our circle to be. So the metal part is going to go wherever we want the center of our circle to be. And the pencil will actually draw the actual circle. So I'm thinking with a square, squares have all the sides of the same length, and these are all right angles. So I'm thinking if I just find sort of the right in the middle of the square, that should be the center of my circle. This is actually a fun fact. If you draw the diagonals, which just means one corner to the opposite corner, so draw this diagonal and then draw the other diagonal, wherever those intersect is actually going to be the center. So that's where I want my center of my circle to be. Because if you think about it, a circle is the set of points that are all the same distance from the center, right? So if we're right here in the middle of the square, the distance to here should be the same as the distance to here, the same as the distance to here, same as the distance to here. So then if we draw a circle with this size radius, it should go through all 4 of these points. So let's try that. I'm going to take my point here, and I need to kind of adjust my compass, the pencil, to be right where I want it to be at this vertex here. All right, let's try that. And then when I'm drawing this circle, looks like it's a little too small. Just a little bit. Okay. So when I'm drawing this, I'm just gonna hold it from the top part here and just be very gentle with it and just sort of just very gently sketch that circle. So it's probably not gonna draw a very dark line, and that's okay as long as you can see it. That's all we really need. If you press too hard, it's not it's gonna move your your compass. It's gonna make it wider. It's gonna move it from the position that you want it to be in. So don't push too hard on it, and just hold it from that top part. That's what that's for. So, and again, if you want to go over it a few times to make it a little more visible, you can do that. But there's my circle. So notice it is pretty light. I went over it a couple times to make it a little darker, but it's pretty light because if I push too hard on it, it's not gonna turn out very well. So okay, so we could do it with that square. So now let's see if we can do the same thing with this trapezoid. So we're gonna do a little bit of trial and error here. So let's try like right here. What if we try to put the center of my circle right there? Then let's see if I put my center there, and then I want it to go through the vertices, so I can use one vertex as sort of how I determine how big I need it to be. So it looks like that worked, but then it's way too far from these guys over here, right? Okay, so that's not gonna be good. Well, let's think about this. If I move my center a little bit over here, then I don't have to be, my my size of my circle doesn't have to be as big to reach these. And then it'll be a little bit smaller to reach these without going over. So let's try moving our center a little bit more towards that longer side. Let's try like right here. Maybe that's gonna be too, maybe we moved it too much, but let's try that. That looks pretty close. Oh, and if you kind of mess up and it kind of moves from where you want it to be, just pick it up, put it back down. It should still be at the setting that you want, so just put it right back and keep going. Okay, so there's my circle. I kind of didn't make a mark right there, but that's okay. So it looks like that worked pretty well. I just had to move it a little closer to this end so that my distance to here was about the same as my distance to here. Okay, and then this one, just for the sake of time, I'm just going to tell you this is not going to be possible. If I sort of find the center here, if I line it up with like this vertex, it'll make a circle like this, where I'm going through those two, but then I'm not getting far enough to these two. And you could keep trying, you'd never be able to get the circle to go through all 4 points, because if these two diagonal opposite corners are good, but these aren't, there's really no way you can fix your center to make it work. So the point here is, besides practicing with our compass, these quadrilaterals where we were able to do it, those are going to be called cyclic quadrilaterals. I'm going to write that down for you. So that and that, those are called cyclic quadrilaterals. So those are quadrilaterals where you can draw a circle through all 4 vertices. So these are cyclic quadrilaterals. This one is not cyclic. So that's going to be kind of what we're looking at in this lesson. Let's go ahead and go on to 4.2. So it says, let me get this a little closer here now. So it says the image shows 3 quadrilaterals with circumscribed circles. So the circumscribed circle is just saying it's the circle that goes through all 4 corners of the quadrilateral. So in other words, we have 4 cyclic quadrilaterals in here. So it says for each one, highlight the arc from S to Q passing through P, then find the measures of the arc we highlighted, the other arc, and the angle SPQ. So let's go ahead and do that. So if you have like a highlighter or just a colored pencil or a marker that you could use, go ahead and get that. So let's see. So we want to highlight the arc from S to Q passing through P. So S to Q passing through P is going to be just this guy here. So I'm just going to kind of scribble over that. And then let's go ahead and do that for all of them. So S to Q passing through P, S to Q passing through P, it's going to be right here. And then S to Q passing through P is going to go all the way around here. Okay. So that we have S to Q passing through P highlighted, and then you can either leave the other one not highlighted, or you can take another color and highlight that one So we're looking at these two arcs. And together, those two arcs make up the whole circle. Okay. So now we want to find for each of these, now we're going to go one circle at a time, one quadrilateral at a time. We're going to find the measure of the arc we highlighted, this one, the one I highlighted in the purple periwinkle color. So the measure of this arc, and if you want to pause and do this on your own, go ahead. So this arc is defined by this angle. Do you see that? And this is an inscribed angle. That's what we talked about in lesson 2. So we have this inscribed angle that defines this arc. So remember, an inscribed angle is half the measure of the arc that it defines. So that means that this arc is going to be 210 because that's 105 times 2. So this is 210. And then the other arc well, we don't know what this inscribed angle is. We can't use the inscribed angle to find the measure of this arc. But we know what the measure of this other arc is. And these two arcs together make up the whole circle. And how many degrees are in a circle? 360. So if we have 210 here, the whole thing needs to be 360. So 360 minus the 210 minus the 210 is going to be 150. Okay, so we have 210, 150, and then we want to use that arc measure to find this. So we're going to have 150 divide by 2 to get the inscribed angle. This is going to be 75. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop there for this video because my videos have to be under 15 minutes for YouTube. So I'm going to go ahead and stop there and we'll pick up on the next video.